Maya unlocked her front door, exhausted from another long day at the City Chronicle. The hallway was dim, lit only by the flickering streetlight outside. She kicked aside a stray newspaper and froze. A plain white envelope lay on her doormat. It was thick and felt strangely heavy. Her name was scrawled on the front in uneven, almost childish handwriting. Curious, Maya picked up the envelope and examined it closely. There was no return address, no indication of who might have left it. A shiver ran down her spine. This felt different, wrong somehow. She tossed her bag on the floor and tore open the envelope. Inside was a single sheet of paper with a cryptic message typed in a bold font. Stock market crash tomorrow, 4:17 p.m. sharp. A humorless laugh escaped her lips. What nonsense was this? Someone was playing a prank on her, trying to scare her. But a flicker of unease remained. The specificity of the message, the exact time, it was unnerving. Still, it had to be a coincidence, right? Maya crumpled the paper and threw it in the bin. She wouldn't let some anonymous threat ruin her night. She tried to push it aside and focus on making dinner, but the unsettling message kept creeping back into her thoughts. The image of the bold, typed words wouldn't leave her alone. By the time she was eating, the initial amusement had given way to a nagging sense of dread. Maybe she should check the markets before bed just to be safe. The next day at work, Maya found it impossible to concentrate. The cryptic message from the previous night loomed large in her mind, casting a shadow over everything. She tried to focus on her assignments, tried to rationalize her fear. It was just a prank, she told herself, a stupid, cruel prank. But deep down, a knot of anxiety tightened in her stomach. As the day wore on, she found herself stealing glances at the clock, counting down the hours, then the minutes. At 4 p.m., unable to bear the suspense any longer, she opened a browser window and pulled up the stock market ticker. Her heart leaped into her throat. The markets were in freefall, a sea of red engulfing her computer screen. Panic gripped her. It was happening. The clock on her computer ticked over to 4:17 p.m. At that exact moment, the floor seemed to drop out from under the market. The ticker tape went haywire, numbers flashing in a dizzying blur. It was a complete and utter collapse, unlike anything she'd ever seen. Maya watched in stunned silence, her blood turning to ice. The message, the prediction, it had been accurate. But how? Fear morphed into a chilling fascination. This was no random prank. Someone out there possessed knowledge that defied logic. A wave of nausea washed over her as she remembered the discarded note. Who was behind it, and what did they want? 2 days later, another envelope appeared on her doorstep. The mere sight of it sent a tremor of fear through her. This time, the message was even more specific. Senator Davis to resign. Press conference, 10 a.m. tomorrow. The audacity was staggering. Could this be true too? Maya spent the rest of the day glued to the news, waiting for any announcement from Senator Davis's office. At precisely 10 a.m. the next morning, a news bulletin flashed across the screen. Senator Davis, embroiled in a corruption scandal that had yet to break to the public, was resigning, effective immediately. He looked shaken, broken. Maya's jaw dropped. The prediction had come true, down to the minute. A chill ran down her spine. Someone was feeding her exclusive information, events before they happened. But why? Fear was a constant companion now, a shadow that followed her everywhere. Sleep was a distant memory, replaced by a gnawing sense of dread. Then came the third message. It was stark, terrifying in its simplicity. Leave the city, 24 hours, your life depends on it. The message was a punch to the gut. This wasn't about information anymore, it was about survival. Maya stared at the note, her mind racing. Who was she to believe? What danger was she in? She had built a life in this city, a career, friendships. The thought of leaving it all behind was unbearable. But the alternative, staying and facing an unknown threat, was even more terrifying. Her hand trembled as she reached for her phone, the decision weighing heavily upon her. Should she trust the warnings of this faceless messenger? Or was she letting her fear control her actions? The clock was ticking. Maya had a single day to make a choice that could save her life or seal her fate. She looked out the window, the city lights blurring through her tear-filled eyes. Stay or run? The decision was hers, and hers alone. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.